Biblio Fools.
So, Evan, this is like your wet dream of a book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
This was
love
right
this
up your
book.
alley. Dude, the whole time. I listened to it and I was like, you know what, this is a good book and it's really like science heavy. So I was like, I'll just listen to it at regular speed and I'll just barrel through it. And the whole time I was like, I just kept smiling because I was like, I know Evan loves this.
Yeah, you are correct about that.
What, that it was your favorite book of all time?
I
was
love
like,
it so much. Yeah, I mean, I've
'cause
got
it-
like a periodic table, like on my wall right there,
Yeah.
and they talked about chemistry quite a bit.
They
So-
did.
so much. And it was like Interstellar had sex with a science book,
Yeah.
like
But
a
then-
science textbook.
But
And
then
it was
also like a cute little buddy comedy too. Like
It's really a love story between a man and a spider.
he's
It
not.
is.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Welcome back to another episode of Biblio Fools. My name's Evan Cannell. I'm here with Kyle Dunshee
Hello. Hi.
and McKylan Rowe.
Hello. Hi. So that way you can differentiate the voices.
Yep. Now
Listener.
we
That's
know.
right.
Yep.
One of those is Kyle. One of those is McKylan. We'll let you figure out which. Did you guys get mistaken in
All
high
the
school?
time.
Yeah.
I feel like that happened very often. People
Yeah.
would call me Mac all the time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's some like critical differences between your
Yeah, one of-
appearances.
One of us is black, but I
Yeah.
think the biggest thing was it's very similar to this book, to bring it back into it. But we were just always together, and we had such a similarity in personality that I think people were like,
But I always
Nice.
thought it was funny. I'm like, how could you think we're different? He's black.
yeah, I'm black.
What?
He's 6'4". Like we're
I'm white and walk like I'm paralyzed, and he's black. And
I was a skinny little black douchebag. Like, what are you doing?
I guess just soul brothers. Must be
Soul
what it is.
Yeah, isn't there like some ancient text that like your soul gets split into two parts and goes into
Yeah.
and then it connects it? I think that our souls have been split into 3 parts, and it's the 3 of us.
yeah. And Evan is the smart one. Evan got
Yeah.
all the brains.
Evan's the id, and Kyle's the super ego, and I'm just the ego.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Amazing. So this show, we read books so you don't have to because, let's face it, you're illiterate.
Dumbass.
You don't have to tell anyone, but you can just put us in your ear holes and then feel like you read books. No literacy required. This week we did a brand new thing we've never done before. We let the people decide what book we should read. So shout out to our good pal, Cameron Hicks, who suggested Project Hail Mary.
Thank you, Cameron. Thank you, everyone who commented. It was
Yeah.
what's up, and we just had to randomize the ones that got the most votes, and we got Project Hail Mary, but I'm really glad we did.
Well, we got the book I think the universe intended, at least for me to read. I don't know about you two, but I just loved it so much. The book is kind of a big deal. People like this book a lot. It's very well known. It's kind of a like happening thing right now. But it's written by Andy Weir, who also wrote The Martian, which was the source material for the movie The Martian with Matt Damon. It's a story about an astronaut who wakes up in an unfamiliar room, having lost his memory, only to discover that he's light years away from Earth on a suicide mission in a desperate last-ditch effort to save humanity from a star-eating space bacteria aboard a ship appropriately named the Hail Mary. In order to find a solution to Earth's predicament, he's got to do a lot of science all alone, though he soon discovers he's not as alone as he thought.
Is anyone really, though? Is anyone really alone?
You're never alone. In space,
In space, you might be pretty damn alone.
pretty alone.
No, I don't think I've ever watched a space movie where somebody was actually alone.
That's true.
Really?
Sorry, my comment was stupid.
We're having fun. So a funny thing with this book was shooting. I wrote and directed a short film earlier this year, and one of the crew members, we were giving him shit because he kept talking about this movie and how excited he was for it, and then it's starring Ryan Gosling, right?
Mhm.
And so we kept making fun of him because of how much he loved Ryan Gosling and how we would never know a love like he has for Ryan Gosling.
That's
And
right.
it's like the bit became us being jealous.
That
and-
he loves.
Of
But-
his love.
Yeah, of his his ability to love Ryan Gosling and Guy Ritchie. Shout out Alex. Alex is the man.
Shout out Alex. Shout out
Alex.
Alex.
Alex Cope, you've been doxxed. I'm gonna put your address in the show notes.
Yeah, tell us more like shit you have on Alex.
Yeah.
Let's get into that.
All right. Anyways,
Amazing. So we reached out. I thought that bit was gonna keep going. My bad.
fair. Fair.
You mentioned that this book was a big deal. I'd never heard of this book. I had no idea this book existed. I did know the book The Martian existed because it was a movie I watched when I got back from not watching movies for 2 years, and I thought, man, this is so boring. Watching it,
Really?
watching it again, I appreciate the movie The Martian, but after having not watched movie for 2 years and then watching The Martian, you're like, oh my gosh, this is so damn boring.
Because your brain forgot how.
Because your brain forgot how, and then you turn on like Avengers: Age of Ultron, and you just explode. That's how it was for me. But I guess it is a big deal because they're making a movie starring the Goss, as McKylan mentioned. So I'm thrilled for this movie, and I thank Cameron for this suggestion.
That's right. I actually reached out to Cam, and I asked him if he'd tell me why he suggested this book, and I'll just quote him. He said, "Hell yes, because I read the book a while back, and I thought it was by far the best sci-fi book of all time. After listening to 2 different alien nonfiction book reviews, I thought y'all would have some fun with this book. Plus, it's amazing how the main character will help you understand everything he's doing, so you're not lost, but also make you think, how the fuck did you figure that out? So hope you guys liked it as much as I did. Kissy face emoji."
Thank you, Cameron. We could have done without the cursing, but thank you, Cameron.
This is a not explicit podcast, and we don't appreciate
That's right.
the cursing.
No, but I actually agree. After reading this book, I think this is the best sci-fi book I've ever read. I think I've only read 3, but I don't think my mind would change if I read like 50 more. I think this would still be up there.
I think, yeah, because of my low amount of sci-fi books, this is ranking high. But also, The Lathe of Heaven is still number 1. Sorry, guys.
Okay, Lathe of Heaven's pretty damn good.
That was very good. Totally different types of sci-fi. This book,
though.
Yeah, this book puts the science in science fiction.
Yeah.
Really science-heavy book here.
Well, I think that's the thing that... Because me and Kyle are a little bit more woo-woo people.
Yeah.
We're a little more woo-woo-y. Like, I'm sorry, Kyle, there was no trees in this. But...
What the hell?
I know. There was a cool...
plant.
Not even a plant was in that. Well, I guess is astrophage a plant?
No, it's a bacteria.
No. Bacteria is not planty?
No.
Okay,
No.
well, we tried.
Rocky has plant cells that, because his metabolism does both ways. It consumes carbon dioxide in some of his cells. You know what? This is going to happen a lot in this. I'm going to nip it in the bud.
Let it happen.
Rocky has some plant action going on in there.
It's not what I thought, though, but I was grateful for it. Just
amazing.
Throw 1 tree. It's not that hard.
So a thing I wanted to bring up before we dive into it, is this movie or this book got criticized for having a lot in common with a different book called The Spaceman, which was made into an Adam Sandler movie.
It is. It's a guy alone with a spider alien. I didn't think about that.
I don't know anything about it, but I was researching the book a little bit, and I saw that, and then it really affected my listening to the book for the rest of it, because we'll talk about it later, but the character in the book is so, like, he kind of thinks he's funny, or somebody told him he's funny, and so the character speaks to you like he's funny, and the only way I could reconcile it in my mind was to make him Adam Sandler.
Okay.
Because when it's Ryan Gosling, and it's like, you're hot, and you think you're funny, and you won't let me stop hearing your jokes, it's tough.
Yeah,
you know? It's not fair. It's like, you can't be all these things. So I turned him into Adam Sandler in my head because of my own ego issue.
All right, I can see like an Adam Sandler. I definitely had Ryan Gosling in mind. But let's set the stage, and then we'll get into characters, and then it'll make a little bit more sense here.
Yeah.
So the book is set in the not-so-distant future. Earth faces an existential threat. The sun is dimming rapidly, and if not left unchecked, If left unchecked, the planet will plunge into a new ice age within 3 decades.
Hold on, I just want to... If not left unchecked? No, we're leaving this in. If not... What would that mean? That's like a triple negative.
Not left unchecked.
Well, hold on.
I can't even comprehend what that would mean.
I don't know. That's how much this book felt to me. I was just like, huh.
You're like, wait a second.
Well, that's...
The cause of the sun's dimming a newly discovered alien microbe dubbed astrophage that consumes solar energy. With the clock ticking, world governments unite for a mission dubbed Project Hail Mary, a last-ditch effort to find a solution in the Tau Ceti star system 12 light-years away, because Tau Ceti is the only star in the infection zone of the astrophage that isn't getting any dimmer.
That's a good synopsis. I'm grateful for that synopsis. They said that all in much bigger words, but you condensed it down for people to understand. That's what's happening.
Yes.
That's our job.
I definitely felt like I was learning a lot
Yeah.
of science while reading this book, which I was not expecting.
But it was fun.
But it was fun. It was like I actually really enjoyed it. I thought I'd skim over it, but I didn't. I read some of it a few times to make sure I understood it, and I still didn't. But I felt better about myself.
It's like the book written by the fun teacher, the one that you
Yeah.
like going to their class, and it's like he makes it a good time. Well, let's meet our cast here, our characters. We've talked about him a couple times. Ryland Grace, a junior high science teacher and former molecular biologist, a reluctant hero, fond of using junior high appropriate expletives, talent for problem solving, and a knack for survival.
Yes, and we'll just do the casting now. They cast Ryan Gosling in this role, which I didn't realize until halfway through the book. I picture someone much nerdier with much less charisma, and I think Ryan Gosling will do great because there's nothing he can't do, but not what I was picturing.
Yeah.
And those cops are going
Yeah,
hard
those
out there.
cops in New York.
Sorry.
Are you getting busted, McKylan? What's happening over there?
They're coming for me, man.
Dude, where's Daredevil? Where's Spider-Man? Don't they live there?
I do. I live in Hell's Kitchen.
Are you
And-
serious?
Yeah. Daredevil
Whoa.
would be. It's a different kind of neighborhood. It would be a hate crime for all the kicking ass that Daredevil does if he did
Really?
it in the real Hell's Kitchen. I'll tell
If
you
I
right
was
now.
in Hell's Kitchen and I saw a blind lawyer, I would automatically attack him just to see if he could defend himself.
Yeah, just start throwing fists, just like, hey, can you see it?
Yeah, and then if I just beat the shit out of him, I'd go to jail, and it wouldn't be
Which
good.
the funny thing is, you could have figured out that he wasn't from one punch, but
Like, he's holding back.
you're like, come on, prove it. But I think so Ryan Gosling's already cast. Fuck
Yeah,
it.
he's
Let's
there.
do-
He's already
Let's
cast.
do our own. Let's pick our own. Oh, you know who would be perfect? Tremel Tillman. Shit.
Who?
Tremel Tillman, the black guy from Severance.
Oh, dude.
Oh, yeah.
That would
He'd
be
be great.
perfect.
Okay, that's the perfect casting. Oh my gosh. I want to see more of that man. Oh my
He
god.
is-
I loved him so much in Mission Impossible.
He's the best part of Mission
Is he in
Impossible.
Mission Impossible? I didn't even see it yet. Oh.
Yeah.
You got to go see
I just
that
know
movie.
he's the best in Severance.
He has this whole bit where he keeps calling Tom Cruise Mister, and I don't know why.
You're on the right boat, mister.
Oh,
It was-
I need more Tremel Tillman. I need to be
He's
able
the
to go
best.
see
So
movies
good.
again. That'd be great. I'd love to see movies again. Doesn't matter.
18 years, and then you'll be in. You'll be
Yeah.
good.
We've got Eva Stratt, a ruthless and pragmatic mission commander. She's granted global authority and legal immunity by all world governments to save humanity by any means necessary. Willing to sacrifice anything or anyone for Earth's survival.
Yeah, she's a badass.
She is.
She's from Holland, I think. So she's a very strict Dutch woman.
Doesn't mess around, doesn't have time for bullshit, and is just making calls.
Yep, whole time.
And it's odd because, so obviously I listened to it, and the guy who does the reading, I should probably find out his name, but he does all the voices.
Really?
And he does surprisingly good, but it's still weird to listen to Dutch woman accent.
Hmm.
And it was a fast, and especially like later on when there's Asian characters and Russian characters, it was very weird, but very fast. It's a hard job to have.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, plug for the audiobook. It's well produced, and I think the narrator does a good job.
He does a great job. You start to recognize characters' voices, which is such a cool thing that like none of the other audiobooks I've listened to have done that.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's good. The last character here in our trio, we have Rocky, an alien engineer from the planet Arid, highly logical, five-legged, fiercely loyal. He becomes Grace's unexpected friend and science partner in their mission to save both their planets.
Yeah, I don't want to talk too much about Rocky until we get into Rocky, but I love Rocky.
He's the man.
Rocky's the best character.
Yeah. Also, okay, so now that we've got the cast of characters, like, I have seen this movie. I know exactly how it's going to go because I think it's the same team behind The Martian, right? Am I wrong about that?
Yeah, and I think
No,
they got
it's
some
a
oh, sorry, go ahead.
it's Philip Lord and Christopher Miller. So it's
But
the 22
yeah.
Jump Street guys.
Yeah, which is
Okay.
surprising, but I think they got some of the people from Dune doing like
I think they might have the cinematography.
yeah, cinematography for Dune. So like it's shaping up to be really
Yeah.
good.
It's going to be a lot of wide shots of the spinning ship and a lot of like synthy soundtrack music, and the astrophage is going to look real cool when it's like lasering out the back of the ship, and it's going to be a lot of Ryan Gosling science montages. We're going to have some like fun little music while he's cooking up a lot of science experiments. Rocky's going to be a very BB-8 type character that's expressive, like, you know, with his body and all. Like, and we'll get into like how Rocky talks with sound, but it's going to be a lot of that. A lot of Ryan Gosling, like, think, Rocky, think, you know? Yeah, it's going to be a crowd pleaser for sure. So let's, dive into the plot.
30 minutes in, the plot.
Ryland Grace wakes up alone on a spaceship with no memory of who he is or what he's doing there. As memories trickle back, he realizes he's hurtling through space on a one-way mission to the Tau Ceti system. His mission? Find the key to stopping astrophage before it kills the sun.
The stakes are high. The stakes could not be higher for this guy. Save the entire Earth. That's it.
Yeah. And they do it with actual science. So he's not even saving the Earth that he knows. The Earth has the plan for it, like, dying as he saves it. But it is super cool that you wake up with him, and
you're on the journey with him.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know what's going on, and we don't know what's going on because it's page 1 of the book.
Perfect advice, because then everything that happens, he's explaining to himself, and then which means he's explaining it to you, and so you're getting all the exposition in not an annoying way.
Yeah, no, I agree. The narrative is great.
And it doesn't feel contrived because of the memory loss mechanic. I feel like that is so important to the book.
Absolutely.
Because if you had the whole backstory at the beginning, there's a lot that you're missing, but it trickles through the book. We're bouncing back and forth between what's happening on the Hail Mary and him, like, getting his memories back little by little. And so the real context fills itself in, which I liked.
Yeah, I loved it.
So Grace discovers that the other 2 astronauts aboard the Hail Mary died en route.
Bummer.
So he wakes up and there's just a couple of mummies. He commends their bodies to space and gradually pieces together their shared mission, which is to discover why Tau Ceti is immune to the astrophage plague.
This would be so scary. Is you wake up on a spaceship and you're like, oh, I'm alone on a spaceship. Oh, and there's 2 dead people here. There's 2 decomposing bodies. I can't think of anything worse. And he's just supposed to figure it out? That's not fair.
I love that it's okay. This book does have this, I call it the thank you for smoking disease, where
Okay.
because they need to be dead for the plot to make sense.
100%.
Like, that is there's an issue of, nothing is happening separate. Like, everything has to happen so that it will carry out in this interesting way, you know, in this right early way. And it's the thank you for smoking thing, where in that thank you for smoking, Rob Lowe's character is like, well, we need to have them smoking some cigarettes in space. And Aaron Eckhart's character is like, well, there's no oxygen, or like that would be super dangerous. And he's like, just say they made a machine for it and we're fine. And that sentiment is throughout the book. And it starts here with like they're dead. So that he has to figure this out alone. But it's a lot of that.
It is a lot of, you do have to, for a book that's so based in science, you do have to suspend a lot of belief. But they offer explanations. Like, the reason these people died is because they were in this really long coma, like a long, long coma, and things just didn't work out. But you're right. It's, without these people being dead, you don't have much of a plot. But man, what a crappy situation to be in, to just wake up in space. People are dead, and you're figuring out. The crazy thing is, when he commends them to space and he sends their bodies into space, he's still like, I don't even know who these people are. And it's crazy. He starts mourning them as he starts learning about them throughout the book, which is really interesting.
Yeah, he's like, these people are dead, but I don't want to think about them, and I don't know why. Like, I feel sad when I look at them, but I don't know who they are, and it's very confusing. There's a robot, so the way the comas work is they had to send people with a very specific gene that would keep them from dying after being in such a long coma, and there's a robot that, like, tends to their bed sores and makes sure they get food and then like electrically stimulates their muscles, which is why Ryan Gosling's going to be jacked. He's going to be inexplicably jacked and wake up and be like, oh, I've been electrically exercising this whole time. That's why I can be super freaking hot in this movie.
They do explain that. They're like, he's supposed to be jacked, even though you wouldn't expect it, but there's a reason for it.
Yeah, there's a long period of time where they're like, I'm so muscular.
Yeah.
Why do I look so muscular? This is
like,
crazy.
I'm in the best shape of my life. He's doing it from Spider-Man 1, where he's just like, how about that? Looking in the mirror flexing.
How am I so strong still?
Yeah,
it feels weird. It's a lot of. He is the most. What's the word for it? He's like the perfect hero character for a novel. Like, he's silly. He has a good issue of like he never really fully commits to anything, but he's super smart. So he is really committed, and he figures stuff out. So you like him.
Yeah,
he's the perfect like lead character.
He's got this sense of humor that's like, oh, did I do that? And it's like, okay, but you like calm down, but it's endearing and it's somehow charming. It doesn't fly the whole time we're reading and listening to it. It's like, okay, you're not that funny.
Yes. Yeah. So out in the alien system, Grace, he finally gets there. And, okay, I'm diverting a science tangent here. I just want to get credit for doing so, all right?
We'll allow it.
Grace encounters another ship, which his ship names the Blip A. It shows up on his little radar as Blip A, and then that's what he calls the ship the rest of the book. What seems like a potential threat turns out to be a ship from Arid, another planet battling astrophage. Aboard is a 5-legged spider-like alien with a green sweater and a super material called xenonite that can build almost anything. The alien builds a tunnel between the two ships, at which point Grace discovers that he is made of rocks, and so he names him Rocky.
And I think we should just go right into the next one, because I'm seeing it. And
okay, but before we dive into Evan's science tangent, which I do want to hear, actually, I did not think there was going to be aliens in this book. I thought it was going to be very much a Martian. I guess I just didn't research it enough before, which was to my benefit, because when he made contact with the alien ship, I was laying on the couch and I like jumped from excitement. I was so excited that there was going to be aliens in this. And then the way you learn about the alien, it's not like any alien you've ever thought of, but it makes sense given that species evolve so differently when they're so far out. And so I was freaking thrilled to find out there was an alien here. And when he starts making contact, I was losing my mind. It was so exciting.
Yeah, that was the weirdest couple of minutes of listening to a book where he found out there's an alien ship. Because I was thinking of this like it's going to be like The Martian, where it's hyper-realistic. Like, the whole point is that it's realistic and has this really optimistic view of the world, which it does, because like the world makes a person who's in charge of the apocalypse immediately. So I was like, with Strat. So I was like, oh, this is gonna be very similar to The Martian, but a cooler, more like kind of epic version. A different tier. And then a triangle showed up made of mystery material.
Big old curveball. So we got to do some science. I'm going to try and pack it all into one rant, because for just the parts that are important for the plot. Because if we get lost, if you guys let me go, it's going to just turn into this nightmare spiral of science. So
we'll just let you run. You just go, and then we'll pull on the reins when we need to.
All right, here we go.
And we'll see how it goes.
Yes, it is important. The science is important, so I'm glad Evan is here.
It's 90% of what the book is. The book is like 98%. It's like 60% science, 30% buddy comedy, 10% interesting. No, I'm kidding.
I think I would say I would replace that last 10% with plot, and then that's correct.
Yeah. It's
the whole
10%
thing
plot.
is interesting. But yeah, it's a lot of science, and then Ryland and Rocky being buddies. I'm so excited for this movie. It's gonna be so fun. Like, Rocky, seriously? Come on, man.
And they're using
Apparently, you can just watch the movie on Netflix now called Spaceman. I'm interested. I want to watch it to see if that's.
I disagree.
Yeah, we should.
We should, but apparently, and I'm sorry, we need to let him go on this tangent. But the guy who's playing Rocky is just like a well-known puppeteer, so I think they're doing a lot of practical effects.
Oh, really? It's a puppeteer?
Nice.
Yeah, he's a puppeteer, so I think that's going to play really well. I don't know how the heck they're going to do it. It's going to be freaking impossible.
Well, he's always in those bubbles, so maybe.
Yeah, I still think it'd be so damn hard, but I think it's going to look so good. I think it's a good choice. Practical effects all day if you can.
Yeah, I agree. All right, the science. Iridians are made of rocks because Arid's atmosphere is mostly ammonia. 30 times denser than Earth, so it's extremely hot and totally dark. So Iridians have no concept of sight, but rather they have superhuman hearing, like Daredevil. They communicate using musical chords, and their ship is powered by astrophage. So it's important to note astrophage eats the sun, so it also stores a massive amount of energy, and so it makes a good fuel. So that's how Ryland was able to get 12 light years from Earth, is because he's traveling near the speed of light because he has astrophage powering the ship. Since the planet doesn't have light, arid, they don't know about relativity, because you couldn't discover relativity because it only... All right.
Keep going. No, I want to know this.
So you wouldn't discover relativity because it only works across very large distances and at very high speeds. And so, like, the way that we discovered it, Einstein theorized it, but then we had to wait for an eclipse to see if the light from the stars would bend around the star that was eclipsed. And then when we saw that, it was like, oh my gosh, he's right. So if you didn't have light, you wouldn't know anything about relativity. You'd have no reason to discover it. So they don't know about that. And they also don't know about radiation, which ends up being a problem because they vastly overestimated the amount of fuel that they would need. So they have a ton of extra fuel. And Rocky is the ship engineer, so his workshop is in the fuel tanks, or like close to them and surrounded by them. Those are filled with astrophage, which shields him from the radiation that the Blip A was not built to deflect. So the rest of his like 30-person crew tragically just dies of radiation poisoning. They have no idea what's going on because no radiation ever penetrated their atmosphere before. And Rocky doesn't know why he's surviving, but it's because he's surrounded by astrophage, which is absorbing the radiation energy and keeping him safe. So Rocky's been alone, orbiting Tau Ceti for the last 50 human years, which isn't that long in Iridian time because an Iridian lifespan is 700 years. So that's the science.
That was a very appropriate use. That's very important. All that stuff is very important to know, and it was fascinating. And
that takes up like 10 chapters of the book. I think it's necessary that we talk about it. It's because it does take up, and it's one of the most interesting parts of the book. I'm not going to lie.
For sure. And it is so damn sad once they start communicating, and Rocky's like, I don't know why everyone died. And Ryland Grace does, and so he has to explain, like, they died because of this thing that you could have known nothing about. And it's so heartbreaking when he explains, like, we know this thing, but you couldn't have known that. And so now 49 people on your crew is dead. And it's this weird where you feel so sad for this little rock alien who's being taught things that he just doesn't know, but it's so weird and beautiful. Oh my gosh, I don't know.
Yeah.
So my biggest question was, how do they talk to each other? That was because I love the movie Arrival. Shout out Denis Villeneuve.
Oh, so good.
So good. So Evan, science, please.
Yes, so they talk to each other initially using computers. Iridians, they communicate using sound. They can't see, and so they talk to each other with like chords of music. So different tones in different combinations are their words. So Grace uses a computer to like process the sound and then translate it, and they basically are keeping a spreadsheet of vocabulary, just learning like one word at a time to figure out how to communicate. And eventually they're communicating without computers because they learn each other's languages.
They're around each other for a long time. I mean, for months and months, trying to figure this out. So, like, at first I'm like, yeah, there's no way that they would just learn each other's language. But it's like, no, it makes sense when they're fully immersed in it. So, yeah, then they can just understand each other in this really weird way.
And the book smartly skips. Like, it kind of is just like, all right, they communicate for a while, figure each other out. Now they know each other's language.
Yeah,
like,
now they know each other.
It spares us the, like, extra 10 chapters of having to figure out the computer, but it's because the book is so well written, you understand the science well enough and you understand the characters well enough that you're like, it's not like some, like I was saying with the thank you for smoking moments, it's not one of those where it's just like, all right, so they made a machine that could just do it. They actually go through showing the process of them learning each other, so then you can believe that, and then you can just skip forward to like it's done.
Yeah, they back it up.
So Rocky moves aboard the Hail Mary by creating a series of xenonite tunnels. So, okay, xenonite is the ultimate thank you for smoking thing that you're talking about.
It is.
All problems.
But then they do, we'll talk about it at the end, but they do the best thing where they make it like the problem, which I loved.
And then they fuck it up. Yeah, exactly. So he creates a Xenonite tunnel system around the Hail Mary, and they partition the ship, and they fill part of it with Iridian air. And he also has a little hamster ball that he gets to roll around in when he wants to come to like Grace's side of things and into the lab. So now they got to solve the problem. They're out there together. They have a way to communicate, and they need to do a bunch of science. So orbiting Tau Ceti, they finally find the planet that the astrophages are commuting between the star and that planet. And so they call it Adrian because Rocky, which I thought was fun.
Yeah, because Rocky's like, what do we call it? And Grace is like, I don't know. You should name it. He's like, I don't know. And then Grace is like, well, do you name it after someone you love? He's like, oh, I have a mate. Rocky has a mate back in Arid. And he tells, Grace the name. And the Grace he's like, I'll just interpret that as Adrian because Rocky and Adrian. And so it's sweet. They named this planet after Rocky's mate, which is Adrian. So I love that. I thought it was very sweet, very cool.
Yeah, nice little reference there.
Rocky's a good movie.
Sorry, Rocky's the best.
Rocky's a really good movie. So
dude, Rocky's, it's a sad movie. Yeah, like I watched it for the first time not too long ago, and I was like, this is barely about boxing. Like
the first one, where he's like, oh man, I have to sell my dog, I have to break people's thumbs, and he's like weirdly creeping on Adrian like this, like above the door frame. You can't see because this is like he's just it's such a good movie.
It's such a good movie, and it makes sense that they named. I don't know why he named Rocky Rocky. Is it because he looks like a rock?
It's because he looks exactly.
It's because he's made of rocks.
He's made of rocks.
And that's the kind of humor that we're getting from this guy. And let me tell you, I just wish. Here's my thing: it's if you've seen The Martian, Matt Damon does a great job of making what like could be an annoying character really likable.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it feels like Andy Weir was like, nice. People loved how funny and cool science guys are. I'm gonna make him so fucking funny and cool. The amount of times that Ryland refers to the audience is like, come on, I just love science.
Cool with the jokes, man. It's not your strong suit.
Yeah,
it's really good at science. Be good at science.
Yeah, there's a lot of like. I almost think that Andy Weir does a good job making him that way. Like, I don't feel mad at Andy Weir for writing it that way. I feel mad at Ryland for being like, just like making too many stupid jokes. He's like a junior high school teacher. Yeah. It's just how he is.
Yeah, to be clear, Andy Weir's writing is so good that you do understand that this is like a holier than thou self-referential like science teacher from junior high. Like he feels so much like a science teacher from junior high, which is
but not one. Yeah, he'll be like, it's going to take me like 3.17 seconds to get to the next planet. Yeah, I did the math. Leave me alone.
Yeah. And his shit about about measuring stuff. There's a whole bit that goes through the entire book about how he measures things and how stupid empirical measurement is.
Yeah.
Or like how stupid it is that he's like, he finds out he's American from how that he measures things. But then when he's in a tough situation, he'll measure things using the empirical system. But then he'll switch to the metric system when he does other things because it's a better system. And then he constantly comments on his way that he's doing these things. You're just like, he's like, forgive me, when I'm stressed, I use American math or whatever. And I'm like, I don't care. Just tell me.
The one thing that he did I hate, like he'll know like the most random fact and then he'll be like, hey, what can I say? I'm a science teacher. I'm like, have you met a science teacher? My junior high science teacher was so burnt out, he just made us watch Bill Nye every single day. And I learned things I shouldn't have learned from kids in the back of the class. This is not how science teachers are. But okay, go ahead, Ryland Grace. Know everything and be the smartest science teacher on the planet. I don't freaking know.
I got a so none of our audience is going to understand these references, but I got a Paul Malloy vibe where it's like he had fun going to school. He was like, we are going to make this super fun.
Okay, so yeah, he is the enthusiastic, fun teacher. I'm not saying I think there are teachers like that exist. I haven't come across many of them. That the one guy, Malloy, is the only one I could think of. But yeah, so it's believable, but it's also like, why would you know this random ass space fact that 90% of humans and scientists don't know if you're a science teacher? He knows it because it's important for him to know it. And he knows it.
It's a thing that I think because of the style that Andy Weir writes in, it runs up against this wall where because other science fiction either goes the horror route or it goes like the super epic route. And in both of those, you get like with Interstellar, emotion really papers over kind of the dumb stuff, right? And then in like Alien,
yeah.
horror can kind of paper over some of the, because you have to make logic leaps. But because Andy Weir he has this hyper realism, he kind of gets written into a corner, and the only way out of it is through this junior high teacher kind of jokiness, which I completely relate to and get, and like I do like. It's annoying, but it's also it helps it's the only way that the book could like do some of the things that it's doing
And explain things. Yeah.
and make it work, because otherwise, like, you don't have like the emotion of like, Murph, my daughter, that's why I survived the Tesseract, like, and was just left out in space conveniently. Like, you can't paper over that same crack with, like, you have to have something to kind of get you through that, and none of this would really work without that humor and that stupid bit. But it's annoying sometimes. But the character probably is just an annoying. It's more the guy. The guy himself is annoying.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it is that he's self-narrating, and I think if people could hear my internal thoughts, they'd be like, "You are so damn annoying. Shut the hell up. You are not a funny person. You are not a deep person." So I think because we're hearing his internal thoughts, we're extra annoyed.
Yeah.
And so like I love the character. I love. He's not a perfect character though. Even his humor, I'm like, just shut up. Just do your science. But he really is a very charming, endearing character. By the way, if I was on this spaceship, I thought this so many times throughout the book, I would have died so fast.
Dead in seconds.
I'd be like, okay, I guess everyone's dead because I don't know how to measure. I don't know how to convert. I don't know how to do math. So we're dead. And at one point, he mentions, he's like, they did load us up with every video game in existence for the way back. So I would have just been like, I'm just going to play video games until I suck to death. That's how I would have approach this. And even if I saw the alien spaceship, I'd be like, that's a lot of effort. I don't know how to make contact. I'll just keep playing video games and pretend like I do. I don't know. I don't know. It's just sad.
I would have launched myself out of the air like with the dead body. I'd be like, I'm supposed to die anyways. See ya.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing here. Yeah, exactly. So they find Adrian, this planet, and they think that there's a natural predator to astrophage living there, but it's way down in the atmosphere, and they have no way to get down there, so they have to make a 10-kilometer xenonite chain with a little collection module, and they drag that behind the ship and gather a sample of the Adrian atmosphere. And during the collection mission, a hull breach nearly kills both of them, so it sends the Hail Mary into a spin that threatens to crush Grace to death, but Rocky busts out of his little hamster ball to save him, but the oxygen in Ryland's atmosphere goes into his, rock, heat lungs, because that's the other thing about Iridian atmosphere is it's extremely hot, and so basically Rocky's got little coils in his lungs that are super heated, so it lights the oxygen on fire, so he's like, his lungs and his insides light on fire, and Grace regains control of the ship just in time to save Rocky, move him to the airlock, and fill it with his air, which is extremely hot, so Grace burns his arm in the process. And so it's a bad day, but they get the sample.
I have a few things I want to say. I'm such a paranoid person. I don't like this about myself, that a lot of throughout the book, I'm like, Rocky's going to turn on him. He's an alien. We don't know anything about him. He's going to turn on him. It's kind of like Samwise and Gollum. He's like, this motherfetcher is going to do something bad at some point. And I kind of felt that way about Rocky. And then when Rocky risks his life to save him, I'm like, no, dude, you got to give things the benefit of the doubt. He just risked his life to save him. And also, we don't know this because Grace puts Rocky back in this atmosphere. Rocky could still be dead. And he thinks Rocky is potentially dead. And I was shattered when I thought, that's it. Rocky's dead. And I'm like, I don't want to see this movie. I don't want to read this book. If Rocky's dead, who cares? Man, I just had a lot of weird internal thoughts during that section of the book.
Because Rocky's really one of the better characters. Because Rocky, the big thing is that they both have stuff that the other needs. And once Rocky kind of learns more about humans, he'll make him sleep and he'll kind of take care of him a little bit because he needs him. And a thing that is big on the arid planet is that, Evan, if you want to explain it with science, but I'm gonna explain it poorly. Basically what happens is when they eat, it takes so much energy to eat or whatever that their whole body powers down and they fully lose conscious to digest and kind of get the rest that their body needs. So they will not wake up until their body is ready to wake up. So what they do is their partner will, like, when one of them goes to sleep, their partner will stand there and watch them to make sure that like nothing happens. And so Rocky starts to do that with Grace as they're doing this building of the chain and going to Adrian and all that stuff. And so you really learn to love, because it is out of like this mechanical need to succeed on their mission, but also it shows how much like Rocky slowly starts to love Grace, and Grace slowly starts to love Rocky, because they have these imperative needs that both of them are constantly like taking care of because they need each other, and it grows in this beautiful relationship. So then when Rocky saves him, it's this huge moment. He's like, "Oh no, let go of Rocky!" And then when Rylan saves Rocky in return, it's a very emotional part of the book.
Yeah, they're risking their lives for each other, and like you mentioned, there's a lot of pages, we can't get into it, where they're building this incredibly beautiful relationship. Like you said, Rocky's like, I just got to watch you sleep, and Ryland's like, okay, weirdo, that's weird as shit. I'm not. But eventually, once he understands it, he's like, yeah. And then he tells Rocky, hey, Rocky, do you want me to watch you sleep? And so, like, to me, the crux of this book, the most beautiful thing about this book is this relationship between these two weird different species.
It made me think about friendship a lot, because I think that is a part of friendship, is like it is a form of needing another person that is not, there's a utility to it, that without that utility it wouldn't happen, but through that utility you get something greater.
Yeah.
I like that. I like the way you put it, and I think that's really well captured in the book. They eventually do recover from their, injuries.
Freaking goodness, they recover, because I thought we were both dead for a bit, Andy.
It's tense.
You had me going,
it's tense.
Andy. You're titillating me a little too much.
I hate myself so much, because once he put Rocky into his own atmosphere, I was like, they're both gonna be fine. And I hated myself so much, because I study a lot of it. I like really work on story and trying to understand story. And so sometimes if I see anything kind of cliche, I turn into the biggest dick. And I'm just like, okay, well, I guess we're just doing that.
Nobody's gonna die. Okay.
Yeah, I want some more science stuff, Evan. Will you tell us some more science stuff?
Yeah, so they get the sample. Now that they are not dying anymore, they get the sample and discover there's an amoeba in there that eats astrophage, and they name it Taumoeba, and they've found the reason why Tau Ceti's not dimming. There's a natural predator on that planet. So, a little bit of background. Adrian is the planet closest to Tau Ceti that has an atmosphere full of carbon dioxide. So, on Arid, there is a planet that they call 3 Planet, because they didn't know about the other planets until they started trying to get ready for this mission. So it's like super lame. So anyways, Ryland calls it 3 World because it sounds cooler than like planet number 3. And then Venus in our solar system is that way. So it's like astrophage have to migrate there to breed. So Adrian is that planet. And that's where they find this Taumoeba, is what they call it. Tau Ceti amoeba. Anyways. They have to name a lot of things, and Ryland just has a good time with that. So they start to breed it selectively because nitrogen kills it, and there's enough nitrogen in 3 World and Venus that it's going to be a problem. So they have to breed it so it can survive the unique conditions of both Earth and the Iridian star systems. So it's the breakthrough that they've needed. They finally have their astrophage killer.
Yeah, they did it. They, against all odds, they found the thing that's going to save both of their planets, and it's awesome. And it makes me think, have you ever thought, like, really rhymes with penis? Have you guys ever thought about that?
Yeah, actually, which is funny, because Venus is I think it's your sex and romance house in astrology.
Really? So
Yeah.
It makes sense that it rhymes with penis.
It does.
But it has like a V, like
a vagina. So there's a lot going on with Venus.
Oh my gosh, there might be more to astrology than I initially thought. And you ever thought about like how Uranus sounds suspiciously like anus?
And it's the last one, because we don't like that one that much, because nobody really likes buttholes are for poop.
Yeah, that's for poop. Don't get near that. That's for poop. Anyone who says they like that, I don't believe that.
Hey,
I mean,
I'm not gonna yuck your yum, but it's for poop. That's first and foremost.
But if you're yumming a yuck, I don't know. That's not my thing. But if you like it, hey, go for it. More power to you. I just think if Venus and Uranus somehow collided, would they create a mega planet? And I think that's what we're missing in science. Neil deGrasse Tyson, get on that, because
they create your penis.
'Cause if you put a Venus and a Uranus together, I think something magical would happen. I don't know. Let us know in the comments what you think would
Yeah.
happen.
Let us know in the comments what
I'm
you
so
think
sorry, Evan. You just
I think what happens is Uranus gets like
No, wait.
just really grouchy, and like, in a lot of pain. And then, the other planet comes out, but it takes a little minute before it like starts giving anything back to you. It's just a parasite while.
Oh,
And then the whole time Neptune is just watching like a little skeevy little pervert that Neptune is.
Sicko.
and then Planet 3
Yeah,
doesn't know
Uranus-
any of this is happening. Planet 3 is just like, I'm gonna be over here.
Yeah. And then the sun's like, stop it. I wish the astrophage would eat me so I didn't have to watch this nonsense.
Mars is like, you guys used to be fun, and now every time I want to do something,
This used to be fun.
you guys are like busy.
Yeah, it's that old sad friend that used to. It's like, I can't get married. There's nothing that happens on my planet.
Yeah. And then Pluto's like, hey, can I be there? We're like, get the hell out of here, Pluto. You're not even real.
Nobody likes you, Pluto.
Man.
Anyways, science rule.
Jupiter's just over there being an asshole.
Oh,
He just
yeah.
thinks he's better than everybody.
He's
He's
just-
got a giant hole. He's like, Venus, what are you doing over there at Uranus? I got a big
He's
hole.
like, I got a big hole. Jump on over here. It's the biggest gas hole in the galaxy.
Don't you love my gas hole?
Guess what's in my gas hole? Guess. It's gas.
Mm.
That was not as funny as I thought it was. Son of a bitch.
I don't. Yeah,
Gosh, dang it.
it's okay.
We almost got them all. I feel like I got Saturn jokes, but we should move on.
We got to throw a Saturn joke in. Saturn's like,
That's
Saturn's
fine.
like, hey, if you put a ring around it, it feels a little better.
It's a ring job.
Saturn's the one that's married. So
Saturn's
there's
locked
like,
in.
it's just always showing off the ring, but never had kids.
Oh my-
So it's just like, she's like a power wife,
Yeah.
I am
because
so
Saturn-
disappointed that I didn't put that one together and I went to ring job.
What are we talking about?
I don't know. I love it. We're talking planets. Welcome back to Planet Talk.
And then Neil deGrasse Tyson comes up. He's like, actually, you're all wrong. No shit, Neil. We just made all that up.
Did he get canceled? But Neil deGrasse Tyson's awesome.
No.
He's trying to teach
Did
us.
he?
I think he did. But
I
he's
think
trying to
doing
teach
some
us stuff.
nefarious- I don't know.
Yeah.
I like
He's-
his science, but
That's
Hey,
rough.
let's see the Epstein files. He's probably on there. There's a lot of scientists. Weirdly, that's the part that they leave out of this book. Is when Andy Weir, when Ryan Grace went to Epstein's Island.
Cameron Hicks is gonna be so mad. He's like, you ruined my favorite book.
Yeah, I know. That part of his memory comes back. He's like, thank God I'm in space.
Oh my God, that comes back to him while he's. There's a little appendix. That's why he didn't go back to Earth. It's
But now
'cause
I know why they sent me to space.
Sadler's just like, hey, I've seen the logs. I've looked at all the logs, and it looks like you spent a lot of time on this island. And he's like, no, it's different. You don't understand. I didn't know.
She's like, the only reason you're going on this mission is because you're a danger to people on Earth. So like,
Yeah.
you cannot be on Earth anymore.
You can't be here.
You and
You
Jared
gotta go.
Fogle, you and the subway guy, gotta go.
Yeah, he like remembers. He's like, it just comes back to him that those two dead people he launched out into space was Jared Fogle and Kevin Spacey.
He's like, oh shoot.
Well, although the Project Hail Mary was always a suicide mission because he was going to run out of fuel. He only had enough fuel to get to Tau Ceti. Rocky had enough left over because they didn't know about relativity, so they got there way faster than he realized. He has enough left over to power a return journey with the Hail Mary. So, overjoyed, Grace refuels and charts a course back to Earth, and shortly into his journey realizes that the way that they bred the Taumiba created a species that could escape through xenonite containers, which is what they're keeping the Taumiba in. Xenonite is what Rocky's ship is made out of, so he realizes it's going to consume his entire fuel supply, dooming Rocky before he ever reaches home.
And his whole entire planet. It's not just Rocky that's going to die. Every Iridian is going to die because of this mistake. And Grace is already on his way home, and I can't emphasize this enough. Once he gets home, he will be the savior of humanity. Like, he's kind of worried about the trip back because he's going to run low on food, but he can make it. But he will be the greatest thing that has ever happened to humanity once he gets home. No one, he'll get whatever he wants. He has the best reception coming to him when he gets home. He has every motivation for getting home. Seriously,
Yes.
It's insane.
But this little section I loved. So they decide not to have it be a suicide mission because of all the excess fuel, right? But they had the Beatles, John, Paul, George, and Ringo, are
Mhm.
these little ships that they're supposed to send all the information back home. But because they don't need to send the information back home, he's using those to like keep all of the Talmiba. That's where he's making all of them, right? And so then when he finds out that Talmiba has been bred to eat through xenonite and gets free, my favorite thing was when he makes the decision, so he has to figure out if he's going to go back and help Rocky, right? But it doesn't just tell you like, it doesn't really sit with that too much. He kind of weighs both the options in his head, and then the beginning of the next chapter, he just says, "I can see the light of the John, Paul, and George going off into the distance as I go to find Rocky." And it's like not even a sure shot that he can get Rocky. This is the part where I got really emotional. The annoying thing about him of like the wry humor and stuff does make this part more emotional because he's still doing it.
Yeah.
And he's still joking about it to get himself out of the feelings that he's having. And especially when he says, well, there goes John, Paul, and Ringo and George. Now I have to see if I can find a needle in a haystack because I don't even know where Rocky would have like
Gone to, yeah.
gone to. And it's the use of that humor for me. That got me.
Yeah, it actually
Yeah.
it all becomes worth it. And you're right. So he has the opportunity to send the Beatles back and save humanity, but he's not going to get that hero's welcome if he turns back. He's not
Yeah.
going to become the savior of humanity and be able to witness that. And you're right, McCullen. I love how it's just like, I don't know what to do. And then the next thing is he sees the Beatles going to Earth and he's not with them. It happened that quick.
And this plays like any other action movie where you're like, well, he's the hero. Of course he's going to do the right thing. But this hits especially hard because the last few memories that come back, he realizes the shocking and sad origin story of himself. He is a coward. He had the special gene that made him perfect for the Hail Mary mission. He was the world's leading expert on astrophage biology, and he backed out of the mission because he was afraid of dying, leaving Eva Strat no choice but to sedate him and load him up onto the ship and administer a memory loss drug so he wouldn't wake up and remember that he was there against his will. So that finally comes back to him, and he realizes, oh man, I am a coward. And also, I'm still a coward, and I don't want to die. And he's just trying not to think about that. So now he's got the chance to get back alive, and he's confronted again with the choice of saving himself or making a sacrifice to save a species, and he makes the choice. Instead of returning to Earth as a hero, he diverts course to save Rocky. He sends the critical data and samples back to Earth on the Beatles, and he gives up his chance to ever see home again.
And this to me is the book. Like this summarizes, and I wasn't expecting because it's a really good book without it, but like he has multiple opportunities on Earth to make the decision for himself and go save the planet. And he's like, okay, it's a lot, but I need to think about it. And every time he comes back, no, I'm too afraid of dying. I'm too afraid of dying. I'm not going to go. He knows he's the best, like, for it. He knows he's humanity's best chance, but he still says no. And he tries to justify it to himself. But he says no time and time again. He shows that cowardice time and time again. That's like his character. And so eventually he has to be forced on it. And so now he's confronted with the exact same decision. And what does he do? He makes the better choice. Like, it's so, oh my gosh, I love it so effing much. I was not expecting that in this book. Just that redemption arc is so beautiful.
It's an interesting thing because that part didn't hit for me because, well, so the book goes.
My favorite part, lackluster for McKylan. That's okay.
The part that I loved was him going back and saving Rocky. But the stuff that because I just loved him and Rocky. It was just like, oh, he like loves his friend. Like that's the part that really sung to me.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, and the way it's played out, like you're right. It doesn't emphasize it. It's these two different timelines. To me, I think it hit perfectly because he loves Rocky. He has this relationship with Rocky, but he loved everyone on Earth, and he had the opportunity, and he thinks about this all the time. The kids I'm teaching now are going to be the ones dealing with famine and people killing each other, and he still is too afraid to go.
I think it just didn't.
Yes.
I just didn't care that he was a
Yeah,
coward.
that's fine.
I was like, go save Rocky.
You were just like, okay.
Yeah, you're like, great. I don't care who you are. Save that Rocky
Yeah.
Spider guy.
I guess it's also. I think maybe it was just kind of that thing of just. I was like, well, you saved him. You're gonna save him, right? Well, I was just
You gotta say
I was more worried about Rocky than being like, "You're a bitch."
I don't care. Yeah, you can be a bitch. Just say Rocky.
Yeah, be a bitch all you want,
just
dude.
be a bitch.
Get over there.
So Grace does find Rocky. It takes some doing, but he finds Rocky stranded and very, very happy to see him. They set off for Arid aboard the Hail Mary with the planet-saving Talmiba in tow. And though Arid's atmosphere is toxic and crushing and like super, super hot for humans, Rocky's people build him a giant dome to live in, from which many years later, he's informed that the sun reversed its dimming and has returned to full luminosity, proving that his efforts saved his homeworld as well.
So he did it. He saved the world. It's so beautiful. And I don't. This is kind of very much a tangent. How did you picture Rocky sounding? Because I pictured this high voice, almost like
I mean, I heard
robot-y
it.
thing.
Yeah, it's a little robot-y. But
Okay.
it's music. It's like a musical. It's like somebody robot singing. It's like, how are you doing today?
Okay, yeah, that's kind of what I pictured. And so when he gets back, and I'm sorry, Evan, you just explained it, and I just have to get back to the things I love.
No,
But so once he finds Rocky, and he thinks, Rocky could be dead, he doesn't know, and so he's searching for Rocky. It's hard to find, and then he says, "Grace." Like he's so his octave is higher because he's so excited that his friend has come back. He said, "You come back, you saved me." Like he's like, you did it. Like I wanted to cry. He was so powerful that he's like, my best friend, who's a completely different species, has given up his life to come save me. But Rocky's like, it doesn't matter because I know we'll take care of him. We'll take good care of him back at Arid, even though the environment is non-survivable. But Rocky's confident and hopeful, and I love that about Rocky.
Yep, and Rocky's like, okay, let's get me fixed up and then send you back. And he's like, it's already too late. Like, I don't have the fuel. I sent the Beatles. Like, it's over for me. Also, your food is toxic, so
eat.
like I'm gonna die. But let's move on. Like I'm here for you. I'm gonna save you. And Rocky has this it's like it is great. He's like, I will not let you die. He's like, we will find a way. And so they do. He has to eat Talmiba for a while, and then the Iridian scientists figure out how to clone his meat, and so he self-cannibalizes all of his food when he's living on it.
Which wouldn't that? I don't know science. In my dumb movie brain of science, I'm like, if you eat yourself long enough, you become a monster, right? Because it's your DNA.
You're not breeding with yourself.
Yeah.
But won't something happen?
It's just like drinking your own piss. Like nothing weird's gonna happen, but you're kind of a weirdo. Like it's gross.
Something weird had already happened to let you drink the piss.
To get you to that point. But like I don't think you'll turn into a monster. Maybe, I don't know. I haven't drank my piss. Maybe it does turn you into a monster.
If I drank a gallon of my pee every day for 10 years, would I become
Would you become a monster?
Would I become a monster?
Some kind of a Cronenberg freaking freak of nature, dude.
Well, actually, you would. I think that here's the real thing. This is my birthday weekend. I'm turning 30. This is the grown-up version. Is you are a monster because obviously something's happened and you're homeless now, and you've ruined your life.
Yeah.
And you're a monster to yourself, and that's how you drink the gallon of pee for years.
That's what happens.
Yep.
Don't drink pee.
You're a monster on the inside, and it hurts your tummy. You get this weird, like, indigestion from eating your own DNA. It just gurgles a little bit. It's just like,
but then you start to like it after a while. It's like, oh man, that one hit different. It's kind of like how you kind of like the carbonation. That's how it's gonna feel.
Yeah, just like carbonation. Project Hail Mary.
I was gonna say drinking your piss is just like drinking a soda. But don't just take my word for it.
Go home, figure it out for yourself.
Experiment. Do science.
And if you figure anything out, our email is bibliofools@gmail.com.
We're gonna get a lot of
email us. If you drink your own pee, does it make you a monster? This is what we need to know. The people are dying to know. Project Hail Mary is a fun story about spaceships, aliens, and star-eating laser bacteria. It's also an examination of the process of science as a uniting force capable of bridging even the starkest divides, and a reminder that no matter what problems a person encounters, the path forward requires a commitment to truth, no matter how inconvenient, cooperation, no matter how different people may be, and courage, no matter how daunting the task ahead.
I love that. That was so beautiful. That was a perfect summary. I love it.
Great book. What'd you guys think of
Such
it?
a good book.
What did you think of it? I feel like me and Kyle have just
We've been talking a lot, yeah, and I apologize to our listeners in advance. And they'll be like, is that the same person? Was it just one guy talking the whole time? No, me and McKylan are two different people.
Also,
Two different people.
I don't apologize to them. You came here for this. This is what you wanted. You came here to listen to us talk about something. So the 8 of you 8 people, you're welcome. It's Saturday. I could be out having fun. We're here talking to you because we love you.
Having fun. Admit it.
Having fun. Yeah, that's right.
I loved it. I really I think I've had like a faith transition, which we don't have to get a ton of details into.
A faith transition? Oh.
No, I mean my initial faith transition, being raised in a very like kind of fundamentalist type church, to transitioning to having to find meaning outside of like, you know, just belief, you know, and whatever floats your boat. I'm not going to be an asshole about it, but for me, I found a lot of meaning in the process of science, like the pursuit of truth, and just saying like, I'm going to let the truth be whatever it is, whatever it appears to be. And the idea that you can't really know truth as like some destination, you can only get closer to it. There's the pursuit of trying to get closer and closer to truth. Sort of the like a Japanese like acceptance that you're never going to get there, but the pursuit of getting closer to it is like worthwhile and brings meaning. So the point is, for me, like science really means a lot to me, and so having a book that kind of takes you through the process of like, there's a big problem, there are high stakes, there's sacrifices to be made, but you have to just like keep trying to get closer and closer to the truth. It mapped very well on the things that are just like important to me. I liked his goofy dad humor. I love the relationship with like Rocky and Rocky as a character. So like, this book is just delightful. I can't say enough good about like, this is my second time reading it. And I'd read it again, honestly. Like, it is just an absolute joy, start to finish.
I agree. Really good book. And the weird thing is, I liked it for a lot of very different reasons than you did. You know, the character arc, the unlikely friendship, the sacrifice, a lot of the same themes, but a lot of different themes. This book was awesome. This book was so freaking good. It's not the perfect book, but it has, like, everything. And it's so good. I can't say enough about how much I really, really enjoyed this book.
Yeah, it was. I recommend this one the most out of any of the books that we've read, because even though it's not my favorite one of the ones that we've read, it is such a good read. It goes down so smooth, and it like feels weirdly good to read.
Yeah.
It feels good. Like I was cleaning yesterday, and I had 3 hours left in the book. And so I just putzed around listening to the book, and I was like happier than a clam the whole time. And
yeah, it's a vehicle to deliver a beautiful buddy comedy space story.
It's so good. I say read it yourself. Do not leave this on the shelf. If you see it on the shelf, pick it up and read it yourself.
Agreed. Read it yourself.
Read it yourself. Read it yourself. Do whatever you want to yourself. It's yourself. You can, live your dream.
It's yourself. Yeah. Don't let anybody tell you what to do to yourself. All right, book in one word. I will start. Delightful.
Out of this world.
That's 3 words. 1 word. Magnetic.
Celestial.
Okay, there we go. We got 3 good words. Amazing. Yeah, I'll let it. Yes, it passes. The motion carries. Another book in the books.
Evan's done with us. Evan's given up on us.
Want to thank the author, Andy Weir. Keep doing it. The Martian was great. This one was great. There's another one, Artemis. Really? I'm going to have to make my way to that one. Awesome work. Love this book. Follow us on Instagram at BibliaFools. We're online at BibliaFools.com. If you have a book request, email it to us. So far, we're 1 for 1 on requests being great. So
we'll take it a lot more seriously. I have been humbled, and reading different genres has been very eye-opening. I will say the next book we're going to read that I'm going to start is the second book in the 50 Shades of Grey series. Guess what, McKylan? That's almost 600 pages. Did you realize that's a long-ass book, you stupid idiot, when you chose that?
You chose it. You did this to us. I had chosen Frankenstein, and then you got all, but what should we do now? And so I had to choose another book. It's your fault. I said I would save it.
We are getting absolutely scandalous next week, so make sure you tune
It's
into
not
that
even.
one.
Is it going to be next week when this podcast drops?
The next week from when they hear
Well,
it.
when this one,
Oh, it will be the next one.
when they hear this, it would be the next week.
So between now and then, we're gonna read 50 Shades of Grey, the middle book, which is a great, awesome idea. I didn't expect it. I thought it'd be like 300 pages max, and I'm gonna have some words for you next week, or maybe I'll be
one of them is gonna be throbbing. I think we're gonna hear that word a lot.
Is that where I've never read one? I think I
feeling-
read. It's gonna read easy. From what I know, it's
I
super
think we'll
poorly. It's poorly written, so we're not gonna have to deal with like a lot of prose. You can probably skip a chapter
Yeah.
or like a paragraph or two ahead and be like, okay, so
We may be losing the plot as a podcast. If you want to get us back on track, give us an email, bibliafools@gmail.com. Recommend us a book. Follow the show on Spotify. Kyle, any parting advice here?
My parting advice is be gentle to yourself. Whatever you do to yourself, be gentle to yourself. Love yourself, and don't be afraid to think to the stars, to dream to Mars. Good night, everybody. Have a great night.
yeah.
We'll see you next week, everybody. We love you.
You can leave now.